Okay, good morning, gold traders. I think gold's in trouble. If you're a bull, I think it's, there's going to come a point in time here when I think if the stops start to get hit and there's a stop run, we could be looking at gold at in the 700s, certainly in the 1100s. So looking for a $70 sell-off and then ultimately a $170 sell-off, at least coming back to the starting gate here on gold. So I'm using RSI 3-period and I'm using a 1-period moving average on close here. And I got like a kind of a 5 layers of Akinashi running background to this. So in a trend trader mode, if you had a trend bot or if you were a trend trader, you're only taking pullbacks that you see when the color is in your favor, and obviously blue's down. I just made blue down because I think the market's cold, the market's hot when it's up, so I pick a warmer color for the up stuff. And here I'm using trend lines in RSI to give me a heads up on where things are going. Plus I can see the failed divergences and the reversals that appear after a failed divergence. You'll always see the reversal. So if you lost money selling the reversal, and if you got any money left, you would load up triple, double, quadruple on the reversal, which means you were wrong. The trend still is up, and you're only looking to buy RSI below 50. I put a 50 RSI down here. You could make I didn't use the buy at 70. I'm just using it as a binary switch. So anything above 50 is a sell, and anything below is a buy. Of course, in a trend mode, if it dips at 50 or below, you definitely want to get on that. If that's the last time you saw that, like here, this thing comes right to the 50 and you're in blue mode, so you're definitely loading the wagon on that sell. And another reason why you would load the wagon on that sell is just the sheer fact that you're up, that this support here, you're in this, well, you have a double top. You have this swing high, which was a very important price, and you have this low. So you're in the trap zone there. And certainly for the most painfully obvious structure issues on gold, this top that became a double bottom, which almost became a triple bottom, and everybody just had a signal on this. Even the reversal traders of RSI had this going in their favor, more oversold, double bottom. This thing's going to the moon, But this trend line was broken here. It became resistance. I hope it's, that it's clear on the chart that every time you get one of these situations where RSI is more overbought, but the price is actually lower on my 1-period moving average, that's a sell. Of course, this sell didn't bear much fruit, but another problem with gold is that this divergence, usually in an uptrend, that's the first divergence in this uptrend, should have really given us a nice launching pad. I mean, I think just structurally speaking, most people would assume that this divergence here should have at least closed above, consolidated shortly, and then slammed up into this price here. And I think for at least the range traders, they were thinking, man, that would be the trade. Get in here, let that guy come up all those pips, and I'll turn on the $100 handles here. This would come up, not pips. This would come up 1, 2, 3. So launching off of here, you'd be, let's see, $100, $200, $300 in gold. I mean, who wouldn't take a $200 to $300 rally off of this divergence here and say, wow, I'm loading up? Problem is, in the trend bot situation, if you purely take a trend approach to this, you're still blue. If I went to the, if I made these candles a little bit longer moving average, you could say, oh, you're all blue. Of course, this is the first gasp of the first chance the bulls have to even make a statement, because When the bears got a hold of it here, and then the bulls said, okay, really? And we double topped out here, or triple topped out here. Wow. And even for the most recent trend line you could draw would be here. And if you all you knew was even this far back, that was a problem. And the biggest problem really being is that, wow, taking this low out, man, that broke the heart of every bull on the planet, and then it became a double top. So yeah, gold's in a heap of trouble as far as like, I would love to buy it here thinking, wow, it's a deal. It's going to 5,000. But holy moly, I'm thinking this top should be holding right now hard. That was the bottom. That was the launching pad for that whole up move, and this was the reversal. And this was the next one here. And those guys are keys, and then those keys didn't hold. His gold's goose was cooked. Well done. Cajun style. You're going to hang this, if you hang this off of this internal, that triple lands right on that last shoulder. Bye-bye. 1740. Who could believe it was here? Up at 1830. What are you, nuts? 1820? These people are nuts. And if I hear one more gold ad, I'm just going to jump out a window. If I hear another one guy telling me silver, you know what, people? Silver's going to 10. If this thing's going back to 900, like what happens when this doesn't hold? And then this baby top in here doesn't hold at 1118. What happens when the stops start to run from here? And don't forget, you got this whole bunch of stops you got to take out till this thing ends like, tries the dead cat bounce off the 946, right? And then what happens when China, who's got more real estate, they built more fake real estate than anybody could even imagine. What happens when they start to sell their gold that all these conspiratorial bozos talk about? Oh yeah, well the China's got gold. Yeah. What happens when they're liquidating here at 928? When this doesn't hold, this should hold hard. I mean, in a structural view of the market, that should hold. When that doesn't hold, then we're coming down to see if we can bounce off that double bottom. When that doesn't hold, then that's 725 on gold, right? This has got to hold here. And I've heard that I've traded a 1 hour chart that looked like this. I've traded a 4 hour chart that looked like this. I'm telling you, I bought on limits all the way down to China, blew up the account. Of course, I wasn't trading with stops. But I remember the old days. I remember being so excited about a market. And I've never heard such a saturation. You still don't hear the gold people. They're kind of tapering off, and I love Peter Schiff to death. But, man, you got to know when your market's baked. I mean, if this comes down to the 600s, you're going to see Bitcoin trading around still 200. Bitcoin will hold its own. The euro dollar's coming back. I'm not going to go into the euro here because this is for the gold bugs. And, wow. Now let's build let's look for the reasons why we would sell gold. Here's a reversal. We're going to hang that off of this. And then we're going to find the lowest close within this, which is here. So I'm giving this at least till next year to make it down and just kind of do a slow. It could go slow, or it could just cut through that. It could go smashing down to 977 at any moment, because it would probably cut through this support. I don't think the support's going to hold. This bottom at 1,072, people are going to freak. They're just going to freak. And even the people, and I don't care what they're going to say, I'm sorry, excuse me if you're one of these people that is like, oh yeah, well they manipulate the gold market. Are you kidding me? What about the upward manipulation? 1,800 on gold? Are these people nuts? I mean, no offense to anybody that thinks gold is more precious than a really nice looking girl. Or whatever your other tastes in life is, like a really gorgeous guitar. you can hold gold in your hands, but you can't play it like you could a guitar. I mean, if you had an ounce of gold, wouldn't you just rather have a really nice used guitar that sounds gorgeous, presupposing you're a guitarist? But presupposing a lot of stuff. But I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to burst everybody's bubble on gold. But if you just look at the monthly, okay, now I wouldn't drill down to the weekly unless you're a scalper. But even a scalper's got to be thinking, you know what, place some pendings at $9.77 on gold for at least a $50 bounce, right? So how to make $50 in gold, right? Then, like, look way back here at $7.25. I mean, there's going to come a point in time where some guy's going to break out his Fibonacci tool and he's going to think, wow, look at the extension on that. I mean, right? And now, let me zoom out one level here and just go to the big picture again. Don't forget, I mean, gold used to trade down at not very long ago, in the whole body of this chart. Okay, let me just strip out and go for the Hagnashi pullback blue here. This is the only chance the bears had to even have a chance at putting a dent in gold. And when they pulled this back, I think a lot of people at $700 an ounce were like, wow. The problem is that if you drill down and look at what happened here, there's a major key top that became a bottom, and this is like an ascending triangle, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's at 650. This is 700. This is only a 50 pip window. But seriously, I think buyers are going to come in at 977. But I think we're looking at a free fall here, man. I don't know. I guess this could take about maybe till the election. I think when you start to come into this next election, so you've got a lame duck president. You've been treading water in this channel like this. So let's do a conservative projection to the downside. Just off of this channel, right? Anywhere along here, let me just make this channel bigger. A conservative walk down into either conservative or mind blowing, or just kind of a Drea cup all the way down to 977 on gold. Okay, am I being too? And I'm not. I'm saying it's gonna take a year to get there. As you come into the elections, and if the next president turns out to be like that, you're like, whoa, then I'm projecting this. Right, I'm going to go for the bigger channel up in here. I'm going to hang my hat off that, hang off this reversal failure swing, off of this, find the lowest close in there is here, and the conservative projection would be the lower close off of this one. So this one's deeper to the, let me just go back to zoom in mode here, because I'm using the this key this is my big support level that should hold. But if you project down this, I hope this can fit on the screen without it looking not right. But this is the slow melt projection. This is the mind-blowing sell-off that everybody's like, huh? Now, cycle-wise, time-wise, we need to put the horizontal price in here. Vertical price in here. I'm going to go with yellow because I can't see that damn red on my screen. And so that, if we cue that to get that right to the edge of this. Okay, now, so this is the date, okay, for anybody that wants to try to get that. And then the next one is here. Let me just do this before I run out of tape. And yeah, so the next one's going to be out further in time, right? So let's drag that to the center. Something like this, right? I'm thinking. But wow, it looks scary for gold. Once we start cleaning these stops down, this is no man's land, man. Free fall coming into an election. I mean, 2016, this is going to be August 24th of next year. I'm sorry, 2 years out, and this is going to be October 30th of 15. We should be trading in the in this price, whatever this price is, whatever that intersection price is, 1,000. 1,030, my prediction. Thank you very much.